Welcome back to Geospatial Talks with Bingosa. In today's video, we learn how to calculate important spectral indices in QGIS using Landsat imagery. And we also focus on NDVI for vegetation and NDBI for build-up areas, which are very useful for urban expansion analysis. If you haven't watched my previous video on how to create a color composite, so let's get started. First, let's understand what are indices. Spectral indices are mathematical combinations of satellite bands used to highlight specific land features like buildings, water, and vegetation, and help us extract important or useful information from satellite images. So, we're going to calculate NDVI and NDBI, and the formula for calculating NDVI is band 5 minus band 4 divided by band 5 plus band 4, and the formula for calculating NDBI is band 6 minus band 5 divided by band 6 plus band 5. The NDVI acronym stands for Normalized Difference Vegetation Index, and the NDBI acronym stands for Normalized Difference Buildup. Now let's calculate NDVI in QGIS. So we're going to load the bands 5 and band 4 into our QGIS interface, and mine is already loaded. So you're going to click on Raster, then Raster calculator, and we're going to use the band 5 and band 4 to calculate the NDVI. So let's input the brackets. Then click on band 5 minus band 4, close the bracket, divide by band 5. Let's input the bracket first, then you click on band 5 plus band 4, then you close the bracket. Under the raster layer, click on the output layer, and we're going to name it as NDVI. Then click on OK. So the NDVI image is already calculated. When you zoom at the image, you still can't identify the features in that image. So what you're going to do next is classification. And to do classification, you're going to right click on the NDVI layer. Click on properties.
In symbology
pane, you're going to use the single band pseudo color. And for interpolation, you're going to use discrete. Let's set the color ramp, and you're going to click on this drop down, and then click on all color ramp, and we are going to use the red to green color ramp. For the mode, we're going to use equal intervals. And before we continue to classify, we're going to set the values to use the standard NDVI classes. And let's change this one to 0.5 when double clicking on the value. And the yellow to 0.3. Then click on apply, then OK. In NDVI, the values always ranges from -1 to a +1, where the higher values represent healthy vegetation and the low values represent build-up or bare land. For this classified image, the values -0.00, 0.0220 represents water or shadow areas, represented by red. And for the value 0.02, +0.2 represents buildup or bare soil. For the value 0.2 to 0.4 represents past vegetation. The values 0.04 to 0.6 represent moderate vegetation. And for the value 0.6 to 0.1 represents dense vegetation. Let's change this color for water or shadow to be blue. So the current is blue. Let's click on OK. And click on. So the blue region represents regions with water bodies. So this is our NDVI image. So let's calculate NDBI in QGIS. So first, let's add the bands that you're going to use for that particular image, and we're going to use band 6 and band 5. I already have band 6 and band 5 added to my workspace. So I'm going to click on Raster calculator and put the brackets, and we're going to minus band 6 minus band 5, band 6 minus band 5, close the bracket, then divide by, put another bracket, band 6 plus band 5, then close the bracket, and we're going to see the output layer as NDVI. Then click on OK. It's been generated. Let's switch the layer for NDVI, and now we have the NDVI. The positive values represent built-up areas, and the negative values represent vegetation or water areas. Do classification for the same. We're going to right-click on NDBI layer, then click on Properties. Under the Symbology pane and Render Type, we're going to use Single Band Pseudo. For the color ramp, let's click on this drop down and navigate to where all color ramps is and choose red to green color ramp, and make sure it's inverted. Let's remove this yellow color. You highlight it and click on this minus. So like we have 4 classes. So let's set the values manually to ensure there is equal interval, and for this negative 0.38, negative 0.20, and this one 0.2. Then click on apply, then OK. This is our image. From our NDBI map, it shows that most of the study area is dominated by vegetation and agricultural land, represented by green color. Built-up areas appear in red and are concentrated around major towns and infrastructure corridors. Yellow zones indicate transitional areas where urban expansion is occurring. And for our NDVI image, our NDVI analysis shows that most of the study area has moderate to dense vegetation, indicating healthy plant cover. Areas with low NDVI represent sparse vegetation and degraded land, while the blue zones shows water bodies. And this brings us to the end of today's tutorial on NDVI and NDBI analysis using Landsat in QGIS. I hope you've learned how to map vegetation and build-up areas. In my next video, I'll show you how to perform change detection to analyze vegetation loss and urban growth over time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notification. This is your special talks with Bingusa, mapping the world one layer at a time. See you next.